Oh, please. That's not... Nobody wants to be compared to Little Steve. I love Little Steven, but nobody wants to say, oh, hey, you look like Little Steven.
Looks like a little kid in a cancer outfit or something.
Whoa. Wait,
they sell cancer outfits?
Outfit. Right. It's like, God, Joe. There's like 12 things wrong with that.
Oh, that is so bad. That is so bad.
Right.
Hey, what are you going as for Halloween this year? I'm going as a kid with cancer.
Jesus, God. Obviously, Joe's been holding it in for a couple of weeks.
Hey, Balked Nation. Welcome to Atlas Balked, a weekly variety show concerning the mundane, weird, and maybe even sometimes dramatic happenings of a few simple-minded guys who just happen to be in a storied fantasy baseball league. This podcast captures the thoughts and musings of Greg, Joe, Jack, and Tim. Download this podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get the podcast content you listen to when you're wondering what Chevy Chase's acting career could have truly been. You can also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and email. DM us or send us a quick note at atlasbalked@gmail.com. This is episode 85, entitled Roll With It, Brother. Well, Happy New Year, Balked Nation. So happy to have you here with us celebrating the 2020 with Atlas Balked. We have no idea what's wrong with you, but we're happy to have you here. So it really is. GK, great to see you in your interesting outfit today, at least as described by.
It's a T-shirt and a scar and a bandana.
Babushka.
Yeah.
How you doing today, GK?
I'm doing just great. New year, same me.
Happy to see you. Good to see you. We missed you. Well, J-Lo, how are you doing with your Kansas City outfit on and talking a lot of shit before we even start recording?
Hey, the week started off with a bang and kept better from there. I'm happy to be here.
You and the missus have a healthy sex life. That's nice.
The bang I was referring to was the semi that hit my truck.
Oh, yeah.
What?
It was a stupid little accident, just driving out of the neighborhood, and there was a truck that was backing his trailer into another street, and so I let him go, and as soon as he cleared my lane, I took off, and so did he. Ran right into the back end of me.
Tell me if I'm wrong. I imagined you jumping out of your truck, running over to the cab of this guy's truck, pulling him out, and beating him. Is that somewhat accurate?
No, not even close. For one thing, he was about twice my size, so that wasn't.
That wouldn't stop you. That would never stop Joe.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. He apologized, and we just waited for the cops to come.
I was going to say, even in that situation, Joe goes straight to math. He's like, well, that guy's 2.5 times larger.
I would have loved to hear the awkward conversation, like, oh, what's your capacity in that thing?
Well, it was hauling, so it was clear what he was hauling. He was hauling a couple of lifts. Mm-hmm. Unexciting and about as good as that can go. If you'd have woken me up Monday morning and said you're gonna have an accident with a semi in about an hour,
yeah,
I'd have stayed home.
Most would, yeah.
Well, we do have someone else on the show that has had a few different incidents where they've been hit by large trucks. I think 2 times by a dump truck, right? Or construction? What's the story there, Swag?
2 different occasions in my younger years. I was in both extremely small, a Mustang 2 and a Chevy Chevette. Both very small vehicles. I was the passenger.
Quite a car guy back in those younger days.
Yeah. I was a passenger in both situations, and in the one we actually at 60 miles an hour hit a full dump truck full of dirt head on. That was nasty. Everybody survived, but a couple people got messed up.
Is that what happened to Chris?
No, he wasn't there. And he got hit by a bucket when he was like 4, like a metal bucket. I think that's what started his.
So the bucket kicked him. He didn't kick the bucket.
Yeah. And And then crazily, like within, and that happened on Friday the 13th. It was my first like negative Friday the 13th experience. And then like less than a year later, I was
outside the movie theater.
Yeah. I was a passenger in the Chevette and got hit actually on my side of the vehicle. So yeah, twice, 2 dump trucks. Both were, pretty scary situation. I didn't wear a seatbelt in either. I was young and dumb back then too.
Same driver of the dump truck?
No. Yeah, okay. Not even same driver of the vehicle. 2 completely different drivers in both situations. That would be like, what the fuck did I do to you? What are you trying to do?
I was going to say, there's a local dump truck driver as a grudge against Jack.
Yeah, the only common denominator in both situations was me. Yeah, no, both were.
Well, I'd say the lesson for you is never ride with someone else.
Or ride with more successful friends who have like better cars.
Yeah, yep.
Right.
Yeah, I was a passenger in 1 or 2 LJ accidents as well throughout the year.
What are you like fiddling with the radio while they're trying to concentrate? Is this what keeps happening?
Right? No, I just hang out with irresponsible people, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
now that I believe.
Look at the members of the podcast. Right?
Part of his ecosystem. Well, hey, Swag, how are you doing? I mean, we're talking about ancient history. Thankfully, you didn't get hit by a dump truck this week.
No.
How you doing?
I'm good. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and all that good stuff, everybody. I'm doing well. You guys know that for the role of Terminator, they considered Mel Gibson, Chevy Chase.
Oh, my God.
Tom Selleck and O.J. Simpson.
Well, that might have been appropriate.
Jesus Christ.
Chevy Chase turned it down. Mel Gibson turned it down. Tom Selleck turned it down because he had some Magnum PI stuff he was doing.
He was perfect in that.
And O.J. Simpson was passed over for the role of Terminator because production feared he wouldn't be taken seriously as a killer.
Oh, God.
Given his reputation at that point, I can see that.
How about that for foreshadowing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, could you Chevy Chase as the Terminator? Who the fuck? Why did they even write that down?
I'll be back. Hey, I'll be back.
Somebody's nephew get into the meeting that day. They're like, "What about Chevy Chase?" Like, what the fuck? Like, I write it down.
I don't know how that dude even had a career.
Who's that?
Chevy Chase.
He was good in Caddyshack.
Yeah, Fletch.
He was good on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Chevy Chase either.
I'm not either.
No, I like Caddyshack. I'm not a fan of Fletch, really.
Oh, that was a horrible movie.
No, I loved Fletch.
I hated Fletch.
No.
And Chevy was good in the
Vacation.
Lampoon Family Vacations, that stuff. I liked him in those.
Yeah.
But no, not a big Chevy Chase guy.
That's quite a lot of stuff, though, when you really think about it. I mean, his stuff's either really, really good or really, really bad.
Yeah.
That's true. No doubt about it.
Like those like Spies Like Us and stuff. Oh.
Hey.
Well, Dan Aykroyd. I mean, anything with Dan Aykroyd, I'm just like, ugh. I mean,
well, I love Dan Aykroyd in The Blues Brothers, obviously.
Okay, well,
and Neighbors. I love Dan Aykroyd in Neighbors with Belushi. He was good with Belushi, but other than that,
wow. But I loved Fletch, and the books are great too. But and actually, if you read the books, he was pretty on point with the character. In the movies.
Agreed.
Well, you've given a lot of thought to Fletch.
I have. I fucking love that guy. Like, think about that.
I do. I own like 5. I don't know how many there were. I own like 5 or 6 of them. I think 4 or 5 of them
on VHS.
The books.
No books.
Books.
Okay. Yeah. There were only did they do a second one? I don't know, but the first one was good.
They did too.
Part of the reason I didn't like it was because there were Los Angeles Lakers in it. I found that offensive.
Who are you a fan of? I couldn't even begin to guess.
The Celtics.
Oh, okay.
Like he says it like it's obvious, like geography is obvious for his fandom.
Well, I've said it enough times on the podcast.
I didn't know.
I've never heard you talk about the Celtics.
Every other sport I could answer in a heartbeat. I don't know that I would have answered that one correctly. Yeah.
Is it the Bruins for you too, Joe?
Yes.
Okay.
We've talked about that too.
Yeah, Bruins, Sox, Chiefs, but I would not have. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you had a gun to my head, I would have went with percentages, right?
Yeah.
I would hope so. Given that Kansas City hadn't had an NBA team for 25 years.
Yeah, I'm not huge into basketball anymore, but I did only because I was kind of here through a lot of it, but I was a Sixers fan along with all my other Philly, teams growing up. But I spent so much time in Orlando and from the beginning of the team on almost. And so I had become an adopted, worked for them for a while, the Magic. So even now I kind of check both score. Like I said, I'm not die hard into hoops anyway, but that's the only sport that I kind of Joe on in any way, shape, or form.
My only period of time of really following basketball was I lived in Chicago when I was like 21 and 22.
Back when they were good.
Yeah, and Jordan had come out of retirement.
Oh, okay.
Like, I was young. I was out probably 3 or 4 nights a week at least. And like every night, there was a buzz in the city because they were so good and he'd come out of retirement. And that was fun.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? We're thinking about, obviously spent a lot of time thinking about my high school years and early 20s because the just horrible news about Neil Peart.
Oh, God.
And I'd been contemplating a bit on just how important a figure Neil Peart is to everyone, specifically within 2 or 3 years of my age. Like, the only time I can actually remember a musical great passing away like this is Jerry Garcia. The same type of thing, but I was a little. I think it was just a little older. Folks that were a little older, or really got into the scene.
I didn't realize Jerry Garcia was dead.
Or for Joe, a little younger.
When he died, like 15 years ago, right?
Like, actually, I lived in Port St. Lucie when he passed away. Just to give you an idea, it's actually.
Well, I wasn't a huge Dead fan, so.
Obviously,
right? Exactly. I mean, he's been dead.
No, Tim, you're right.
Well, am I supposed to know every musician that dies, even if I don't listen to him? Like,
I know.
When the bass player from Loverboy died, am I supposed to have a conversation about?
Well, I think Jerry Garcia is a little bit better than the bass player of Loverboy. Although I like Loverboy.
Oh no, I like Loverboy more than I like the Grateful Dead.
Joe, the point is, it's news. It's news. It's news. I didn't have to seek out knowledge about Neil Peart's passing.
Well, apparently I would have had to have sought out the knowledge that Jerry Garcia died.
No, it was all over the place. Well, I know, that's our point. You were in a bunker somewhere talking to spider plants.
Yeah. Joe was about 3 years from discovering the internet at that point. So
yeah.
Internet. What's that?
Just even on Facebook, right? If you have a Facebook account, you have all these people from high school. I don't even remember. I literally don't remember these people. I just know they went to high school and their name sounds vaguely familiar. Like all kinds of weird stuff that they post. Suddenly, like there's this whole kind of wash of Neil Peart. And I thought, I wonder, so back in, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, right? The high school years.
For some of you.
That's such a quintessential, coming of age
1980.
I'm sorry. Most of us.
I was out of college at that point.
I know.
He was purchasing his first home.
Yeah, right, exactly. Hustling out there, right?
Yeah.
Putting food on the table. But no, the rest of us were carefree kids.
I feel what you're saying exactly. I was really hit hard by the news of his passing. You saw what I posted on Facebook.
I did.
And it's similarly, a lot of my friends from high school and even college, we were big Rush fans. And, I don't want to over dramatize it because I know Joe will get upset by the display of emotion, but Rush really meant a lot to me. They really did. And I honestly, when you guys start talking about that other drummer, I started getting annoyed when we were texting about it, that minutes after I'd found out that Neil Peart had died and you guys were texting about who might replace him in the lineup. That really bothered me, but Rush was the band. I was a super shy, awkward kid, and Rush was, and I liked science fiction books. I liked to read and all that shit. And I felt super nerdy. And Rush was like the first time I was like, oh, you know what? It can be kind of cool to be a nerd. It can inspire you to write great lyrics. And, you can be in a rock band, even though there was zero girls at the concerts. But it was still cool.
I think it
really has hurt me. It's really hit me hard. I really feel sad about it, honestly.
Obviously, I appreciate the music. I appreciate, I try to keep an open ear to all music, and especially more so now. Then, I was listening to harder stuff. So Rush, wasn't I like I appreciate it. I liked a few of the songs here and there. I always was aware that Neil Peart was the best drummer, on the planet. But personally, that's like, I have no real connection to them. They were kind of the geekier crowd.
They're prog rock
and roll almost. Yeah. Where
prog rock. Like Yes,
the harder stuff at the time. So
yeah, they were with Yes, Mm-hmm. Emerson, Lake and Palmer,
but they never sounded like Yes. I was always like, oh, I'm going to hit this seventh minor chord, right? And even though I know, and I'm not a musician, but I know that the musicians in Rush are fucking insane, or were fucking insanely good at what they were doing. I never sat there and felt like I was at a music theory convention. Like
I never felt like they were jacking off on stage.
No. It always felt like they went for the music, and that the sound is what mattered. Even if they were doing a different, like YYZ, right? A different musical signature. It never really sounded like a different musical signature to me. I mean, I couldn't for some reason I could never kind of catch that beat like I could anything else that was 4/4. But I just, there's something about that trio. I agree, and I don't know if it's just a time when we encounter Rush or any band and we're just open to it, or if they actually were that special. And I think I've come to the conclusion before I heard about Neil Peart that they truly are. Like they are the masters of their craft in technical and artistic ways, which I very rarely see.
Well, see, I have a little different perspective on them than the rest of you guys, because you found them at a different time. I was listening to them when Neil Peart wasn't in the band.
Caress of Steel.
Yeah. So I was a fan of theirs back then, and I actually quit listening to them for a while after I loved the Permanent Waves album, and then they went to the new wave shit, and I just hated it. I mean, the songs off that next album that I liked were YYZ, and there was another one. I couldn't tell you what it is right now, but...
Red Barchetta?
Oh, yeah, Red Barchetta. Tom Sawyer and all that shit that made them really popular, I hated. They jumped the shark for me at that point. And yet they were changing with the times and found a whole new audience in guys like you. And I still listen to them over the years, but for me, the early part of their career is what I enjoyed the most. 2112 and like I said, Permanent Waves was probably my favorite album. I think that was on my Desert Island disc that I made.
It was, actually. But you have 2112 on display in your office.
I did that for Greg, which was failed because he can't see it.
Oh, no, I appreciate it all the same. They were my company. Like, I used to deliver newspapers every morning before school, and I had a cassette, like a Sony portable cassette player, and that was 9 times out of 10. That was what I was listening to, was a Rush album. So they were like,
you mean like a Walkman?
Yeah, exactly. They kept company. But like I just have this strong association with them and my adolescence, and like my closest childhood friends. We all kind of bonded over Rush music. And I know it'll sound corny, but like when I posted that one clip where they do a montage of their songs as an introduction to the spirit of the radio. And just like, they're at that point, they were probably in their 40s, 50s. I don't know how old they were, but they just look like Alex and Getty, like, were chatting on stage and laughing. They just look like they really just love each other as friends. And it was always so inspiring. And, I just love those guys. So devastating. My daughter has gotten into Rush. You guys have all met her at least via Skype or Squadcast. That sucks. And one of my daughter is like a music person too, like me, and she listens to a wide array of things, and she has an appreciation, if not a love, for Rush. But one of my proudest moments as a parent was when she called me one day after school and was like, "Dad, you're going to be so happy. I was in social studies today, and we were talking about equality, in society and things like that." And I raised my hand, and I was like, it's kind of like the Rush song "The Trees." Sometimes if you try to make everybody equal, it's not always a good thing. And she said, my teacher looked like I had just shot him. He turned pale white and was like, "Oh my God, Rush?" And she was like, yeah, my dad's in a rush. Like, she was kind of embarrassed about it. But that was one of my proudest moments, that Carly was like cogently integrating Rush into academic discussion.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, she's an amazing child, amazing
Thanks.
young lady, really.
Thanks.
So that's awesome. Not a surprise. I had a chance to talk to Pops yesterday, let him know that we're expanding. And hey, listen. So a couple things. Pops has been in and out of the hospital.
Yeah.
So he's fighting. He sounded good. He sounded healthy and strong yesterday when I talked to him.
Yeah.
So Pops, if you're listening, I want you to know that we care about you and want you to be all right.
Yep. Get better, old man.
Speedy recovery.
It's very interesting. He actually has a plan to upgrade to an iPhone 6.
Uh-oh.
And he wants to. He confused a podcast with a text string.
Yeah, well,
And kind of used
They're
those
similar.
two things interchangeably. But said that.
so do I.
But somehow, I said, Pops, you're really popular on this show. We talk a lot about you and your team a lot. And he said, oh, Mix 7, right? And I was like, whoa, like,
Holy cow!
yeah. But
No, it's Mix 7.
lads.
Worst street ever.
So, but anyway, yeah. So he's excited about expansion. He gets the.
Good.
How we're going to do the expansion draft and stuff. So, but anyway, Pops, as you upgrade to your iPhone 6 and you get a chance to finally hear us, I wanted to say to you, stay healthy and we're happier in the league. So,
I would just like to thank Pops for making me look technologically savvy.
Ooh, there you go. I was just about to say that from this point forward, nothing but good things, but then Joe had to take a shot at him. So,
Well, and now we're bringing, with the expansion comes somebody in his own demographic. He's got to feel good about that.
Yeah.
They can talk about Eisenhower.
That's right.
that means that 25% of the league now
See, well,
would
it's
be
begun.
geriatric, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute now.
Whoa.
I ain't that old.
Yeah, 25%.
My
Yeah,
own demographic.
you're an AARP, aren't you?
Not intentionally. If I am, I don't know about it.
Oh, you are.
None of us are intentionally in AARP. It just happens.
I didn't sign up for it. How about that?
I refuse.
I signed you up. All your literature comes here. I'm
that fucking liberal.
I'm compiling it for you. I'm going to deliver it to you sometime this year. That's my New Year's resolution.
Okay. I'll throw it away just like I do the rest of the junk mail.
What was your New Year's resolution?
I don't make them.
To be less judgy about people and the way they walk?
No, it's to speak my own mind once in a while. That's what I'm resolving to do this year.
Let people walk the way they want. Damn it.
You will walk the way I tell you.
Right. He's going to tell more people how to walk this year. That's what he's saying.
Walk this way. Walk this way.
I love how Greg not only wonders about Joe's resolution, but also has thought of multiple resolutions that Joe might have, could have, or should have made. That's just an insight into Greg's mind right there.
Well, while you're busy thinking about the casting on Fletch and how just rock solid it is still holds up 30 years later, I'm thinking about my friend. I can see mashed potatoes as Arkansas, but Florida? Come on. No wonder your family got so angry. Did you put Lake Okeechobee in there with like some gravy?
With big gravy hole in the middle.
He's like, hey, Bennett, you going to finish that? I need to do the keys.
Did we even talk about that while we were recording, or is that before the recording?
I think it was before the recording.
To go find out.
Who cares, though? Listeners, this isn't about you. You're lucky we're recording this conversation.
That's right.
He's back. He's back.
That's right.
Okay, well, let's take a quick break, refill whatever it is we're refilling, and then we've got a little listener feedback that I think specifically addressed to GK. So, I think
nice.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And
I can tell you guys about how my relationship ended too, if you're interested.
Oh,
well, if you're willing to share, we're willing. to
and I have a question.
Spoiler alert.
Well, and I have a question for Jack, actually, too, along those lines.
We've got that, and then we also have a nice little, maybe like a game mini segment that we've got that I want to play with all of you that I think we'll have a lot of fun with. So
good.
We'll be right back.
This sounds exciting. Now I'm excited that I'm on.
Woohoo! Oh,
As opposed to last year.
Right, 45 minutes of talking to us. Now, thankfully, he's excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Tim, I mean, you're not exactly like you've shared your deep thoughts on Fletch and how you got in trouble, shaping mashed potatoes on Christmas dinner. Yeah, it's not exactly you're not exactly jet setting for.
You're not
Christ's
serving them up so far. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. This is the guy who wanted some time off. You guys are fucking with him. He agreed to do it.
He didn't want time off. That was his gambit. Like, well, I guess we shouldn't hang out anymore. Hoping we'd be like, no, we don't want to take time off.
That is really what you think.
Yeah, it is.
Aren't you happy you agreed to do this, Tim?
Oh my God!
Welcome back,
Make
everyone.
the effort, the hard work that's necessary to put this thing together.
It's
And
Tim's joy. It's his joy. Come on.
He was having withdrawals.
Oh my God! Such the angry brother you are, Greg. Jesus Christ!
Mashed potatoes and anger. That's the name of the episode.
All right. Well, we'll be right back.
Well, Joe, you just gave some great advice while we were on break to me, unintentionally. You said, if you want to divorce somebody reasonable, marry somebody reasonable. And that's one of my New Year's resolutions, actually, is to always begin with the end in mind with my relationships now. And I'm going to try to engage.
I thought that was a long-established pattern.
Yeah, I'm going to try to only engage with people who I could see being reasonable in a breakup,
Pretty logical.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It reaffirmed my ghosting. I mean, it was a strong affirmation for the value and utility of ghosting. Let me tell you that. But that's a teaser for later.
So here's the feedback, and this is addressed. Well, here we go. So it's from Tito.
Tito,
the man
Happy
who
New
never
Year.
gets back to me, or man. Well, I don't know, but I'm assuming Tito's the man who never.
Well,
Probably say, but
you never know.
AB Crew, I love the real or fake thingies that you do, but I want to see if GK can take it as well as dish it out.
Oh.
Below are 6 names of baseball players, or are they? 3 are real, 3 are fake. Can GK figure out who is who?
Okay.
I love it.
Nice.
That's good.
Ready?
Yeah.
So this is for GK specifically.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm going to read the names, and then you can tell me who's true and who.
You're gonna read them all out so I can compare them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Player number 1, Cannonball Titcomb.
Okay.
Player number 2, Parker Enbach. Player number 3, Urban Shocker. Player number 4, Johnny Dickshot. Player number 5, Scooter Muffet. And player number 6, Joe's my fave.
Joe's my fave. Joe's my fave. Okay, so I know Joe's his fave. Tito, very creative, first of all. And let me just say, they all sound like they could be vaguely euphemisms of like some sexual activity,
They also sound like they all could have played in the 20s.
Yeah, like, oh, hey, man.
Joe's my favorite.
Yeah.
Headed for home.
Oh, yeah, I met this girl on Bumble last night. We went to the bar, and then it was Joe's my fave all night,
I'm almost positive that I've received an Urban Shocker before, I think.
No. Well, Urban Shocker, that name that's a real name. That's real. That name, for some reason, stands out to me. Urban Shocker is a real name. Joe's My Fave is not.
Okay, so we got 2 out of the 6.
Okay, so that's those 2.
Okay, so you put 2 votes.
So so go through the first 2 or 3 again, Tim.
Yep.
So
Cannonball Titcomb.
Cannonball Titcomb.
Can you spell the last name?
Titcomb.
Titcomb.
Okay.
Titcomb. That's how you would say it. Parker.
Look at those cannonball titcombs.
How was prom? 2 words. Cannonball Titcomb. High five!
Through the screen.
Parker and back. Urban Shocker, which you've said you think is real.
No, yeah, that's real.
Johnny Dick Shot. Scooter Muffin.
Johnny Dickshot.
Scooter Muffin.
Scooter Muffin. Yeah, they are all vaguely sexual names, right? Okay, I'm gonna go bold here and be in Cannonball Titcomb is real, because that sounds like a 1920s old-timey nickname. Get in there, Cannonball! Titcomb, you didn't run out that grounder!
Edwards is down again.
All right, boys, I'm starting Cannonball Titcomb on the mound today. Cannonball, I need 11 strong innings. Okay. So I'm going Urban Shocker, Cannonball Titcomb, and Scooter Muffet.
Okay, so pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. You got a couple. You missed one.
Okay.
So Cannonball Titcomb is actually a real player. You're absolutely right.
All right.
Urban Shocker is an actual player.
That sounded the most fake to me, not knowing any of them.
I remember that name specifically. I want to say he played probably in the 80s.
Scooter Muffet is, in fact, a fake name. Johnny Dickshot.
Scooter Muffet, Johnny Dickshot. I mean, it's potato. You know?
Oh my God! It's a dick shot against Titcomb.
It almost sounds like a one of those write-in porn stories.
Yeah.
Right? And you get the magazines
Fair
and you read
Penthouse.
it all the way through.
I know this will sound
Penthouse
like
porn,
I made this up. But when my new neighbor got some of my mail and brought it over, and she happened to be hot as hell and have natural double D's, and she said, "Are you Scooter Muffet?" And I was like, "Yeah."
That was awesome. Great job, Tito.
Really,
Tito.
man, Tito.
Tito's
Well.
coming out strong. We should have Tito on someday.
Tito. I keep
I think
trying.
Tito should replace me.
I don't know.
Oh.
Come on.
We can't.
Joe, don't
we
be
can't even get
silly.
him to respond. Like he decides when he reaches out, and he doesn't respond to anyone. Right? Like
Yeah. And remember, one of the names was Joe's My Fave. So
Yeah.
oh yeah,
That would be the ultimate
Joe,
irony.
Reach out to him.
Joe Smyfave.
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 I think Tito's probably like on a space station, and it's only every like 3 months that he gets a satellite link, and he's able to like transmit us a message. You know, he listens to Atlas Balked to keep from going mad. You know,
Right, exactly. As soon as he hits that window, he tries to download all our shows and write us emails. Those are his 2 main focuses before the window closes.
Do you know how slow the internet is on the space station?
No, Joe.
how slow is it, Joe?
It's
How
incredibly
slow is it?
It's incredibly slow.
I can see Joe spending like an afternoon at the library, like looking up facts about this, what life on the space station is. How does that
I would
affect
assume-
coffee makers? I wonder.
I would assume the Wi-Fi is pretty bad there, yeah.
They must have to use a French press.
Not only do I freaking like the real Joe, like who he is, but I like the Joe that is in your mind, Greg. Like to me, like that, he is equally compelling as a person.
Joe's my fave.
We should,
Joe's my fave.
Joe's my fave. Mr. Smyfave, party of 3 near the salad bar. Yes, sir. Welcome to Pizza Hut.
So that was fun. You want to play another game?
Sure.
This one I think could be fun.
Yeah.
Revealed by review. These are reviews of actual items on Amazon.
Oh.
And I'm going to read the reviews and see if you all can guess what the item is. You ready? You want to play?
Oh, okay. So they're all real. They're all actual
These are all
things.
real. There's no real or fake here. This is actual.
Okay. And we're trying to guess the
actual
item.
products. Yes.
Based on the okay. Yeah. Let's do that. All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So number one.
Joe, do you know what a review is online?
I think so.
Okay, good.
And
Go
when
ahead.
we say Amazon, Joe, we're not talking about the jungle.
Right.
I thought you were talking about the really tall chicks.
Yeah. No, Joe. Hey, Joe is not that. He knows that Amazon is a book company.
Just remember, I'm Tito's favorite.
That's true. And everyone else is apparently
Mr. Smyfave.
That, for the next Atlas Bach T-shirt, right? It's got to be 0, and on the back, Joe Smyfave.
No, just the last name, Smyfave.
Smyfave. Yeah.
Smifave. Smyfave.
You can't see that, Greg, but I've changed my name on screen.
Oh, good.
to reflect.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Actually-
Yeah, I can see that. Smyfave.
Oh.
All right, so here it is.
Yeah.
Here's the
All right.
first review.
Here we go.
This thing will single-handedly destroy a third world country with hilarity. Buy one. Okay, you're not getting anything from that, right? Okay, so let me go to the next one.
With hilarity.
I put this thing in a room with 40 children from the age of 6 to 12. Never have I seen so many tears ranging from glee to horror, often at the same time. There is nothing more satisfying than watching a child run full speed into this thing, only to find the floor with haste.
I know what it is.
I got it.
Some may find this cruel. You would be far from the matter at hand. This product transcends pain, fear, inhibition, and self-preservation to the plane of elation. 5 out of 5 would buy again.
And so this is the same product.
Greg's cancer kid outfit.
Is it? It's Jesus. So this is the same product, Tim?
Yes.
Yeah, he's going. Yeah, we're still. Yeah, he's going to go deeper.
Is it like one of those giant balls that kids can bounce on? And what is it?
A what?
Oh, like a bouncy ball or something?
I would like to guess a bouncy ball.
A bouncy.
Yeah,
ball.
like, you ever see the kids like run at each other with those really bouncy balls, and they go flying in the opposite direction?
I got you. Actually, that's a pretty good guess. Let me read the third one and let's see if you're.
Well, Jack wants to make a guess after 2 reviews, so let's. This should be a competition. It's like name that tune. I could name that tune in one. I could name that product in one review.
Right.
So next time I won't give you any feedback on it, but that's closer. What Greg said is closer, but it's not.
Okay, Jack.
Is it a bomb?
Colder.
Oh, okay. Well,
You say a bong or a bomb?
or a bong. Is it a bong?
That would be a pretty big bong for kids to run into it and fall on their face. All right, so I'm going to read the final review. This should reveal it. A fun way to ruin a weekend and blow $100 is the title of this one by Reed Hamlin.
Is that real name or fake?
Joe Smyfave.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't verify.
We took this to the beach, and after close to 2 hours to pump it up, we pushed it around for about 10 fun-filled minutes. That was when the wind picked up and sent it hurtling down the beach at about 40 knots. Destroyed everything in its path. Children screamed in terror at the giant inflatable monster that crushed their sandcastles. Grown men were knocked down trying to save their families. The faster we chased it, the faster it rolled. It was like it was mocking us. Eventually, we had to stop running after it because its path of injury and destruction was going to cost us a fortune in legal fees. Rumor has it that it can still be seen stalking innocent families in the Florida Panhandle. There's Florida again, for God's sake. We lost it in South Carolina, so there's something to be said about its durability.
So it's some sort of inflatable beach ball or something.
It is. Joe, you win. It's called Sol Costo. It's the Beach Behemoth Giant Inflatable 12-foot pole-to-pole beach ball.
Holy
It's
crap.
$91.15, and you can have it delivered in 2 days.
How the hell does Joe win? I said it's a bouncy ball, and I lost?
That was pretty close, man.
But you were talking about kids inside the ball.
No, I wasn't. I was talking about kids who held those giant balls and run at each other, then they smash off of each other.
Yeah, I'm going to give that to Greg.
12 feet?
No,
it's a 12-foot inflatable ball.
Joe didn't say 12 feet inflatable ball. He said it's a beach ball.
That's right.
What insight? Thanks, Joe.
I did say inflatable.
Well, obviously, that's what a ball is. All balls are, most all balls.
When was the last time you inflated a baseball, Greg?
All right. So
Joe.
we'll give Greg a second chance.
I'm going to read.
Balls are inflatable.
All right. So
I'm going to say half a point for each.
Yeah,
of them.
thank you.
For each.
I would have given it to Greg too. But
I can name that product in 2 reviews. Joe, can you name that product in 1 review?
it's going to take me at least 10.
Okay, so here's the next one. Now that we fucking solved the whole scoring system. I got this as a gift for my husband. He has never been so happy and sleeps like a baby every night now that Mr. Cage cradles his head. I, on the other hand, don't get very much sleep at all because he is always staring at me. He haunts my nightmares, and I swear I've seen this item move.
Oh.
He's my husband, Mr. Cage. Back off.
So it's obviously like a Nicolas Cage pillowcase or doll.
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to guess after the second one.
Okay.
This item made me feel loved, appreciated, and valued as a human being. I sleep with Nick every night, and we stare at each other as I peacefully drift off into sleep. He's always in my dreams, watching from the bed he's on, shirtless. His body fills me with courage, and I wake up at 4:20 a.m. on the dot every morning to make him coffee. Truly inspirational. A goodbye.
Like I said, a Nick Cage inflatable.
Nick Cage inflatable. Okay. Anybody else?
Or it's actually Nick Cage. His movie career hasn't gone so well. So for $39, he comes and spends the night in strangers' beds.
Right.
I'm a little bit confused why the husband has the Nicolas Cage embracing him.
I would feel safe and rested if Nick Cage was cradling my head. Joe, admit it.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Is the 420 reference pertinent, or is that just kind of an extra? It just happens to be, seems like an odd time to wake up otherwise.
So I'll give you a bonus one.
Can I go back to my first?
Well,
hint?
it depends on who's writing the review. I guess it's pertinent to Teddy Barrett, who wrote that. This is a bonus one. Has caused an acceptable amount of horror in the coworker I purchased it for.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely Nick Cage related.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right on that. Yeah.
He equally delights and repels. I mean, I am delighted by him, but I can see how others are repelled by him.
So I'm going to read you the final one by Pterodactyl. This will reveal.
Pterodactyl, did you say?
Pterodactyl. K-A-R-A-D-A-C-T.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a fun name. Pterodactyl.
I took some of that when I had a headache a couple weeks ago.
I thought they were wiped out in the ice age.
Joe, what was it like when pterodactyls roamed the earth? What was that? Was that scary?
You better ask Bill or Pop.
No, I'll tell you what. So this one's called, so Pterodactyl put this up on May 2nd, 2016, titled My National Treasure. I feel so protected knowing that Nicholas is in bed with me. This item is the first thing I see when I've awakened and the last thing I see before I close my eyes for my deep slumber.
Is it like a lampshade? A Nick Cage lampshade?
The pure sexiness of this man will inspire you. Are you having relationship issues, family fights, or a crippling mental illness? Nicholas can ease the pain. Before I got my custom Nicholas item, I had trouble sleeping. My insomnia took control of my life. I can tell you that when this product was shipped to me and used for sleep, that it was the best slumber in my entire life. He cradles my head so softly. I used to be afraid of the dark. Not anymore. Don't fall for scams like Sleep Number or Tempur-Pedic. Get a Nicolas Cage pillow cover. Go on, you deserve it. The seduction is calling you. This is now my most prized possession, and though I do not like to admit it, I tend to brag about it. I just want to show it off to the world. I am restful. I am relaxed. I am reborn. Hopefully, it will be able to find me a girlfriend or job someday. I have faith that Nicholas will make it happen. So, Greg, you actually nailed it at first, and I got a little nervous, and then you backed off. So I appreciate you not.
Oh.
What do you mean backed off? What was I supposed to do? Bully you into... No, it is a pillowcase. You son of a bitch.
Well,
Greg's guessed it twice. Tim's told him no both times.
I'm bullying it. No, it damn well is a pillowcase, motherfucker.
when you listen to this the second
It would
time,
be
he
more in
talks about
character.
kids running around with balls. It was not. They weren't running around with balls. So quit it. All right. Okay.
That is a little strange that the first reviewer's husband is somehow soothed by a Nick Cage pillowcase.
It was, right? I thought that would mess you guys up.
I started thinking it was one of those sleep apnea machines with like a Nicolas Cage face.
Yeah, that's what I heard when Cradle, right? Seriously, that went through my head, but why?
That would be so fucking creepy.
Yeah, it would.
Where the Nick Cage pillowcase is delightful. Not creepy at all.
Right, yeah, I was going to say, that's not creepy.
I like that the one person took it to their office. It's like, I have to be in the cube next to the chick who brings her fucking Nick Cage pillowcase as a object of art.
I just wondered what the wife thinks of the husband that has the Nick Cage pillowcase.
She bought it.
She bought it. No, she bought it. It saved their marriage.
Some chicks are into that stuff.
It saved their marriage, Joe. Saved it.
Yep.
What a wuss this guy is. His wife's making him sleep on that?
No, he loves it.
And he's not standing up to
He loves it.
Oh, my God.
Well, that's what she said. She wrote the review.
Yeah.
Joe, it's 2020.
Yeah, come on, Joe.
And?
Come on, Joe.
And?
Time to expand your mind.
Yeah, there's different types of relationships
If
out
my
there
mind
now.
were any more expanded, it would explode out of my tiny head.
I'm going to have to disagree.
Let's write a review on Joe's brain. You know?
Yeah.
We have to put it up there first, but then we can do it.
Wasn't functioning. Had to send it back to Amazon. Took 4 days.
At some point in the 70s, Joe decided that he knew everything he needs to know and has decided not to learn anything since then. Everything that he knows is based on
Joe's version of being Amish.
Almost. Yeah.
Any knowledge after 1963, it just ain't worth knowing.
That's right. You see what happens, Joe? When you get a little...
Except everything about Patrick Mahomes. That's worth knowing.
Joe gets a little notoriety, and the bullies team up against him for the rest of the show.
Yes, that's all right. I'm used to it. I've lived my entire life that way.
But technically, Patrick Mahomes was around in 1963 because his father, Pat, was. And so he was just a sperm, though. He was a sperm on reserve, waiting to become the savior of the Kansas City Chiefs.
We knew then.
You're just jealous that I still have a couple of games to look forward to.
No, not really. I'm enjoying watching the playoffs now that the Patriots and the Ravens are out. Now, if only the Niners would lose, I'd love it. Anyway.
Okay, so here's the final product.
All right, one more.
All right, so first review. Great gift for friends.
Oh.
Well, that's helpful.
Yeah, the Chiefs mug.
So here's the next one. This is not, in all capitals, repeat, not, in all capitals, a woman from the Ukraine. Very disappointed, but can only blame myself. Please read the description when sober.
It's a hand job.
That is a great gift for friends.
It is.
This is from Rick
It's
Ross.
a loving mitt.
So I don't know if this is Rick Ross of
producing frame.
House music fame. Yeah, but Rick Ross wrote, "It's only $40. Why not? Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it." Just side note, 72 people found that was helpful.
It is a love and mitt.
Yeah, that is deep philosophy.
It's a babushka, not a woman from Ukraine, but a hairnet.
Babs Bushka. That's not a woman.
Some sort of umbrella.
Baseball player.
Now up to bat, Babs Bushka.
All right, so here we go. So Lawrence Gonzalez wrote,
Louis,
I left this product next to my pet lizard. Unfortunately, now he's 350 feet tall and is currently destroying Tokyo, Japan.
Plutonium.
Plutonium on Amazon. You want to go to Amazon and buy plutonium.
Well, if you go to the
right,
department.
Oh, wait. It is something to do with uranium because that's similar to Ukrainian.
$40 for uranium.
It's a good gift among friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you pay on the streets for uranium, Joe? I get it for $25 a gram.
Just look for a package coming your way.
Adil Yiditz, ADIL, last name Yiditz, YITIZ. Adil Yiditz wrote, relabeled it liverwurst and left it in the break room fridge. Of course, it was gone the next day. Turned off the lights in our office, and as expected, Peter from accounting was the only one glowing in the dark. No wonder he never brought lunch to work.
Yeah, it's uranium.
And Greg, it is. You're right. It's uranium ore. You can buy uranium ore on
Holy shit.
Amazon. Yep.
Wow.
And the other guy, the drunk guy, thought it said Ukrainian whore. It was uranium ore.
Exactly. So you actually, that was good because you started to game the game.
Yeah.
That was great. Here's this one I really liked. It said, what can I say? It's uranium. It's radioactive. It's legal? As far as I know, laugh out loud. Great specimen, high Geiger count, very happy. I'll keep an eye out for the black helicopters. That's from Joe's my fave. I don't know.
Is there any way we could turn this into like a sport like cornhole, and I could be like the first world champion?
Yeah, you're pretty good at it.
The first world champion.
Yes.
It's called, I don't know, maybe it's a bad title, but I call it Review by Review. Reveal by Review.
No, I like it.
RBR.
Okay, so
RBR.
Yes. You're the first
RBR championship.
RBR world champion.
Thank you.
Yes. GK. Yes.
Congratulations.
Really good.
Way to go.
I have to, if I ever do this again, I'll have to be even more crafty.
Yeah.
I didn't think people would get it.
Yeah, you were writing down to me and Joe's level, not up to Greg's, I think.
Let's come back and talk about Greg's.
Well, I have a question for Jack, a very important question.
Oh, okay.
For me.
Yes.
When we come back.
Oh.
Okay. We'll see you in a minute. Okay. All right. So, So you may not have heard GK because you were trying to get on, but the ending to Jack's relationship,
as opposed to trying to get off,
as opposed to trying to get off.
My relationship, my almost relationship ended right around fucking squirrels. And we'll just leave it at that and move on.
Painful.
But and again, for Bacher Nation, we actually recorded. These guys put in a full episode, and due to some technical difficulties, we weren't able to finish the third segment.
Getting overtime pay.
Yeah,
and it's not Joe's fault.
It's not Joe's fault
this time.
So we had recorded a fantastic dating profile.
Probably the best segment ever. Seriously, it might have been the greatest.
It will forever be.
Sorry, Tito.
We do have 3/4 of it, so we might be able to. For our Patreon supporters, they could maybe just use that, and then someone could play GK.
Yeah, save it. Save it. Maybe we'll have Pops do it.
Can I point out something? Since Greg rejoined, all he's done is grunt and breathe. Can you say something, Greg, so we know you're alive?
Yeah, I said hi, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Excited to be here. It's what was Marshawn Lynch's line? I'm just here so I don't get.
This is why we don't record it anymore. It's Sunday.
Yeah, it's past my bedtime.
Oh man! Well, he's a pro. So we just got a few more minutes, GK. A few more minutes, and so Swag, you talked about now that your soulmate is no longer your soulmate. She actually listened to the last episode.
Yeah. So I'm on to bigger and better.
Right.
So Facebook now has dating. So it's Facebook dating. Uh-oh. Yeah, which is similar to all the other ones, but to me it seems early. It's early still, but it's a little more active, a little more going on. And it seems like a little more legitimate because you have to, not that there's not fake, Facebook profiles out there, but you have to have an actual Facebook in order to have a Facebook dating.
So when you go on Facebook, there's no way to lie about who you are. Is that what?
Sure, there is. No, there's ways to lie about
there is, right? But
why would you?
Well,
for the reason people lie. I mean, to trick other people or to make themselves feel better or whatever.
I'm sure it exists everywhere, yes, but
Joe's so innocent, he wants to know why people would lie.
It does carry over some information, so it will tell you if you have a connection with the person they're matching you with. So, for instance, one of the first ones that popped up on my feed, actually, it said, this person is friends with, and it happened to be my ex-wife. So I passed. But that's kind of cool too, though. That sometimes it pops up and friends with this person and this person. All right, well, obviously you would assume again that they're real. Unless they're catfishing those two guys too, I guess that's possible. A little more legitimacy anyway. So
when you say catfishing, what are you talking about?
Oh God,
do you know what that is, Joe?
No.
You want to tell him, Jack?
That's when you grab the catfish out of the river with your bare hand, right?
No,
that's noodling.
Oh, good point.
Catfishing is when you create a fake profile, hard as that might be for you to conceive of, Joe. in order
I
to
wouldn't create a real profile.
right. And then you try to entice somebody as if you were that person. And so, you put up some super good looking picture of a male or female and make them sound really great. And then real people respond and engage with this fictitious profile. And the person who creates it gets some sort of a gratification or is, lonely. And that's the only way they can think that they can get interaction. And then, of course, they can never really meet that person because they're not that person.
So you're just fucking with them, basically.
Exactly.
Essentially, yeah. There's a whole TV show.
By the same network that brings you ghosting.
An old TV show that I've never seen that I probably can't get on cable.
No, it's
on MTV.
Good, actually, yeah, it's an
That
MTV
stands for
show
Music Television. They used to show music videos on there.
Yeah, that's when I used to watch it.
But now they transitioned to like reality TV content.
Joe stopped watching Right Around Money for Nothing.
Yeah.
It was about 10 years after that, but you're not wrong. Are we making things better, Tim?
Can I can jump
Can we
in
get
here.
Courtney on?
Yeah, exactly. Please. So we're gonna do this, or I feel like I'm trying to cross I-4 in the middle of fucking downtown traffic right now.
Yeah.
Should we keep going? Or should we stop at the median?
I think I'm gonna make a call to call the game due to rain. We got
Come on, just roll with it, brother.
Just roll with it, brother.
Jack, you look pretty tired. And
Roll with it,
Joe,
brother, is a good potential for the title, right? Roll with
What's
it,
that?
brother. Joe's comment, roll with it, brother. That's a potential title. Just roll with it, brother.
Let's roll with it, brother. Roll. Nah, that's all right. I appreciate you guys even trying to give it a shot, and we'll see if we can cobble something together.
So here's what you should do, Tim. Remove you, me, and Greg from this recording and just play Joe for the last segment by itself.
Just have his feed. just a hot
feed.
mic.
Yep, exactly.
Fuck the Texans.
Yeah, I love it.
Fuck the whole state.
I enjoyed
And Tennessee as well.
20 minutes of actually being awake and you guys being fucking tired and drunk. It's awesome.
I'm not drunk. I'm just tired.
Well, tired and or drunk. How's that?
Yeah.
There we go. So, all right, guys.
We understand chemotherapy is tough, Greg.
Oh man,
Your cancer comedy is your cancer comedy is on point, Joe.
You're gonna live with it the rest of the time we do this. You realize that?
Well, I know.
Any sign of weakness?
My wearing a bandana was a sign of weakness. Yeah.
No, it was a sign of cancer. That's some funny shit.
All right. Right there, at the very least, cut that. We got that quote out of this whole thing. Joe saying that's some funny shit.
Yeah, wait till I rename my team this week. Is anybody else disappointed that we don't have like the outtakes at the end anymore?
Oh,
that's because you guys are so good. They all stay in the takes now.
Nice save.
I got a lot of outtakes today. So.
Yeah, tonight we
I don't know if any of them were funny.
Yeah.
It's all outtakes.
Cancer's always funny.
All right, guys. So listen, Nighty Noodle, have fun. Drink.
Good night, guys.
Congratulations, all that, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, fellas.
Bye, guys.
He's one of the best scientific minds we have today.
Everything I told you was a lie. Here comes, thank heaven, another enemy.